Hi, this is James Moss, and I'm doing a review of Nightmare on Elm Street for The Dream Master, released on August 19th, 1988, directed by Ronnie Hara, who also directed the 1993 hit action film Cliffhanger. This is my VHS copy right here. Now, the fourth installment takes place a year after the events of Part 3. When we see Kristen, not played by Patricia Arquette, but played by Tuesday Knight. Kristen was walking and saw a little girl doing some drawing on the sidewalk with a chalk. And Kristen says, "Is Freddy home?" The little girl says, "No, he's not here." And we get to see the picture of Freddy. And then the rain came in. Kristen went in the house and she called her two friends out, Kincaid and Joey. Kincaid was pissed off that Alice, that Kristen summoned him, and Joey. She says Freddy's coming back. He says no, Freddy's dead. And then Joey convinced her to feel the boiler room, and then Jason, Kincaid's dog, appeared and bit Kristen, and they all woke up. The next day, Kristen drive her car to her friend Alice Johnson, played by Lisa Wilcox. She is great as Alice. She also met out with her brother Rick because Alice's dad is an alcoholic. Anyways, she drives them to school, and we get to see some of Kristen's friends. There's Sheila, Debbie. Also, that the boy that Kristen's in love with, Dan, played by Danny Hassel. She had a daydream that Dan talked to her. It was just a daydream. And then Kristen opened her locker, and it was Kincaid and Joey. Kincaid was pissed off at her, saying, "What the hell, why you have to wake us up last night again?" But Rick defended Kristen, and the two left. Later that night, Kincaid was asleep when he woke in the junkyard, and then he saw his dog Jason taking a whiz, and then all of a sudden Freddy came back to kill more. He killed Kincaid first, and then he killed Joey in his waterbed. The next day, Kristen found out they're both dead, and then she collapsed. Freddy disguised themselves as the school nurse, and she was scared. Then she woke up, it was the nurse. And then at the diner where Alice works there, Kristen was freaked out and Kristen took Dan, her brother, and Alice to where Freddy's house is. And then all of a sudden, Kristen's mom appeared and tell her to get her ass in the car underlay. And then, Kristen's mom put sleeping pill in her dinner. And then she collapsed. She fell asleep, and she woke up in the beach where earlier that Alice told Kristen that she could just dream anywhere. And then we see that little girl again. And then Freddy appearing as Jaws with his claws like this. He corner Kristen, then she summoned Alice by accident, and then Freddy shoved Kristen into the boiler room when she died. This is when she gave Alice her dream power. She woke up and she told Rick we had to go out to Kristen, and then Kristen died burning to death. Then at school, there was a test, and her friend Kristen was talking to Sheila, saying, I was up all night studying for the test. Then at that test, Kristen and Sheila were asleep, and then all of a sudden, Freddie appeared and tells Sheila, you want to suck some blood? No. Killing Sheila, pretending that she has an asthma attack, like this. Yeah, that was scary. Debbie says she was going to be a doctor. Next we see her brother Rick was in the restroom because of what's been going on. He was sleeping in the toilet when all of a sudden we see some cheerleaders. Alice saw Rick and then she got pushed away. Then Christian's charted body appears, says, make me laugh, Rick. And then he found it was in a martial art. This is a strange scene. This is the only scene where we don't see Freddy at all. I think because of the budget. Anyways, Rick was having a fight with Freddy because Freddy was invisible in a martial arts dream sequence. And Rick says, I use chicken, Freddy? You're full of shit. Rick kicking his ass, Freddy kicks his ass, and then Rick kicked Freddy's glove, and then Freddy's glove moves, and then he says, sayonara, Rick. Rick dies. Alice woke up and screamed so loud the windows broke at Rick's funeral. Over at Rick's funeral, Alice daydream again, and then Rick says, hello, baby. I'm not dead, I'm just pretending I'm dead. Yeah, it was just a daydream. When she woke up, it was just a daydream. And then next we see, so then Alice convinced Rick and Debbie have a plan to take down Freddy. And she told Rick, we'll go over to Debbie's tonight to explain how to take down Freddy. Later that night, Alice was just about to go see Rick, was about to see Debbie when her dad stopped her, saying that, no, I want you to stay home tonight because I'm real worried. She was forced to stay home. In a day, she was daydreaming. She was sleeping. She snuck out of the house, and so she went to the movies instead, eating some popcorn. When it was an old black and white movie, we get to see. It was a diner. She works there. Then the wind pulled only her part of her shoe. Then pulled the rest all the way into the diner. She got scared. Then she saw herself in the seeing her old self. And then Freddy appears, says, if the service kills, this will. And then old Alice handed Freddy the pizza with all the souls of the people he killed, and got Rick's soul, and then ate it like this. Soul food. Alice. And Freddy says, bring me more. And the door opened. It was Debbie, Freddy's next victim. And then Freddy says, your shift is over. She woke up, and then she snuck out and run to Rick, who's waiting outside of the diner while Debbie was working out like this. And then all of a sudden, Freddy appeared and pushed the lift weight. And she says, I'm not afraid of you. Well, then you should be. And then she was in the cockroach motel. She hates cockroaches a lot. And then she slipped it in. Her face appears. She turned into a cockroach. What was going on? Alice and Rick was going in a loop. It's like saying the same thing like they said before. Like it was something out of an episode of The Twilight Zone. And then the two figure out. And by the time they figure out, Freddy said to Debbie, you check in, you cannot check out, and killing Debbie like this. Alice say, he got Debbie, and then say, I'm ramming him over. She survived by Rick, but Dan wasn't. He was hurt. He was rushed to the hospital. And then Alice took her dad's keys and drove home to get ready for the final showdown. She decided to get the stuff that was belonging to her friends, and she says, "Fucking A," and broke the window. Freddy woke Dan up and says, "I ain't no Dr. Seuss." Alice grabbed Dan just in the nick of time, and they ran into this swirly thing Freddy got, and then they got out. But then Dan heard, and he woke up from the hospital. Said, "We pull the doctor." One of the doctors says, "We pull you out. You're okay now." And then the final showdown between Alice and Freddy happened. She used this device that Sheila made originally meant for Debbie, and blew a hole right here into Freddy's chest. And then that's when the kids seeing that the theme, seeing the nursery rhymes, and she says, she grabbed a big piece of mirror and says, "Evil dies tonight," and then all the souls that Freddy captured getting out. One of the was a naked woman coming out of Freddy's chest. That was actually Rulea Quickly in there. Yeah, that was a quick cameo in there. And then just burst after Freddy dies, all the souls that Freddy got were free, and the soul says, "Thank you, Alice, thank you." And then the door opened and she walked. The next day, Dan and Alice are now a couple. They went to this wishing well, and Dan used his coin and tossed it to the wishing well. And what do you wish, Alice? She says, "I won't tell you, it won't come true." And credits in. This is a great fourth installment. It made a lot of money in the box office. Now, the waterbed earlier was Hope Marie Clearon. I mispronounced. She was the pinup in the pinup poster from Joey's room, who is in the waterbed when Freddy got him. Yeah, This is a great sequel. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It is excellent. Now, the next review will be Friday the 13th, Part 5, The Dream Child. Who is the Dream Child? Well, until then, I'm going to go file a complaint to the martial arts organization about that scene about that invisible Freddy martial arts scene, and to explain what the hell was that. Well, gotta go now. See ya, and have a nice day.